Tyler Hero and the Miami Heat have actually had a pretty interesting offseason so far. You see, we tried to trade for Kevin Durant, and while that didn't end up working, we now have a clear sense of what direction the Heat want to go in. You see, we want to get younger, we want to develop our young talent, and we'll be ready for the 2026 NBA free agency where we'll approximately have $70 million in cap space. But let's talk about the NBA draft. We ended up getting lucky, getting Kasper Jonas out of the University of Illinois. And after that, we ended up signing some pretty good undrafted NBA free agents. And I'll talk about two today. One was Vlad Goldin, who played for the Michigan Wolverines. Just last season, he averaged 16.6 points, 7 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 1.4 blocks, and shot 60% from the field and 33% from 3. According to the scouting report, it states that Goldin is a physically imposing, fundamentally sound center who brings reliability and toughness to the interior. Measured at 7 foot 1 inches and 240 pounds, with long arms and a sturdy base, he plays with the kind of physicality and touch that makes him a force around the basket. Offensively, Goldin is a true low post threat with patient footwork and soft touch on hooks and drop steps. He uses his size to establish deep positions and seal defenders, showing good awareness when mismatches are available. As far as his weaknesses, it states that Goldin is a throwback center in many respects. His game is largely confined to the paint, and he offers little in terms of floor spacing or switchability. He lacks dynamic athleticism, his mobility is average, and he can struggle in transition or when defending in space. His foot speed and lateral agility may be exposed in NBA pick and roll or hedge against quicker guards. And last and not least, he's not a natural creator on offense and doesn't bring much value beyond post-ups, cuts, and screen finishes. From my perspective, this basically states that you have to keep a body on this man. You see, he does do well in the pick and roll, but he is slick cutting to the basket. He has active hands. Whenever he catches the ball in the post, he doesn't bring it below the waist. He keeps his hands up and he just lays the ball up. More importantly, he plays with pace. Of course, he isn't that well on the perimeter, but what 7'1" player do you know that is? There are some players like Victor Wembanyama, but we know that he is a generational talent. And I want to talk about him a little bit more, but let's talk about Steve Settle III. In 31 games for Temple, he was able to average 12.6 points, 6.2 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, shot 47.8% from the field, and 41.6% from 3. According to the scouting report, it states that he's a fairly solid scorer off the dribble, a decent shooter, adequate playmaker for his size, a fairly solid defender, and a good athlete. His cons is that he's an inconsistent shooter, not an elite rebounder, can be undisciplined defensively, he must get stronger, and he's old for a draft prospect. He may have limited upside. To sum it all up, it states that Steve Settle III is a very athletic, energetic forward that played at Howard before transferring to play at Temple. He quietly had a solid senior season this past year, and he's shown an improved jump shot. He will need to add more muscle to his frame and continue to excel as an outside shooter. If so, he could end up being a versatile role player in the NBA. Now, what I like about his game is that he runs the basketball court. He has good movement for somebody that's 6'10". I like his handles, his jump shot. Even though he is an older prospect, that just means that he is more fundamentally sound. Whenever you add that into the system, like the Miami Heat, then he will be able to have success. It all depends on his motor. As we all know, the Heat are one of the best teams at developing talent. And whenever we look at this roster, it's a deep team as far as players that have something to prove. Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic, Tyler Hero, Kasper Jonas, and Bam Adebayo all have to step their games up because they are the part of the team that I believe have the most to lose. Tyler Hero, he is playing for a contract extension. You have all of these pieces around you, You have to be the leader of the team. Bam Adebayo. A lot of people are saying that you are best at the center position, but now you have Khalil Ware, a young player who will be going into his second season with a lot to prove. You'll be able to roam around defensively because you have a rim protector. You can guard the best player. You can still defend the rim. You can now work more on your offensive game and your ball handling skills. You were able to improve your 3-point shot. So now it's time to take your game to the next level. You are the highest player on the Miami Heat. And yes, they will be looking for other players in the next NBA free agency. But right now, you are that guy. Khalil Ware, they bought in Goldin. He will be putting you to the test. He will make sure that you have the strength, the ability to be aware on the defensive side of the basketball and be able to guard bigger bigs. Nikola Jovic, they bought in Steve Settle III, and I think it would be pretty foolish to let him go after the Exhibit 10 deal, because whenever I was looking up his scouting reports, most of them were made by the Cleveland Cavaliers fan base. I know that they want him on their team, and he has a lot of upside even though he's an older prospect. So you have to remain healthy. You have to give the Miami Heat something, and if you do that, if everybody can compete, then the Miami Heat will be in a great position for the future. There is a reason why they didn't go out there and get Kevin Durant. They believe in you guys, and that is something that is underrated in the NBA. The Heat are finally getting with the program. Yes, this is Heat Nation. This is Heat culture, and now you have to rise to the occasion. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you like Kasper Jonas, Vlad Goldin, and Steve Settle III? Do you think that all of them will be with the Miami Heat next season? And while Kasper's spot is solidified, who do you like more between Goldin and Settle? Now, I do have one more question, but first, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and follow me on my Instagram accounts. That way, you won't miss any Scotty Ice content. And the last and final question for today is where do you think the Miami Heat will end up in standings in the Eastern Conference next season? Like I've said in the last few videos, I think that they'll be a top 6 seed because they have a lot to prove. It'll be their first full season without having Jimmy Butler, and there are a lot of injuries in the East. With this hunger, this determination, and with the chip on their shoulder, this team can do something great. Now, I appreciate all you guys loving your support. Don't forget to smash that like button. And this your boy Scotty Ice, aka Baby Bron, and you already know, I'm out.